prior to Hurricane Irma's arrival, while several residents of Florida evacuated, some braced for the impact. And some residents, although not in the evacuation zones, still needed to take necessary precautions to safeguard against the storm's damage. One woman was prepping her yard for this storm when she noticed a skinny white stray dog across the street. She called out to the dog, who promptly trotted right over and onto her porch. After all the wreckage Irma has caused, including for some animals, it does the heart good to hear about the happy stories that have come out of such a tragedy. And now, the sweet girl has a new home.
I called to her like I would any dog and she cautiously walked over, the woman said. Even looked both ways before crossing the street. She's a smart cookie. I went inside and got her a bowl of dog food and some water. She scarfed it down with such ferocity. She went through 3 bowls of food and 2 cups of water before taking a breath. From there, conditions started to improve for the sweet animal. She got pretty snuggly after being fed. I knew I couldn't leave her outside with a storm coming, so I held the door open and asked if she wanted to come in. She hesitated for just a second and then trotted inside. She was filthy and smelled to high heaven, the woman said. Almost every bit of her fur was matted with dirt or feces. I could see massive mats, sick, behind them that had to be so painful too. I even discovered that she had sat in tar at some point. She was very cautious of me going anywhere near that side of her body. The woman noticed the poor dog's paws were bleeding. So I attempted a first bath. It didn't go so well, the woman said. She trusted me enough to pick her up and put her in the tub, but as soon as the water came on she barked and cried. Only managed to clean the top of her back before we both needed a break. The look on her face when I said it was time for another attempt at a bath. And the mats were so thick, the woman reports, it took 4 hours of cutting and scrubbing to get her to a reasonable state. The tar was the worst part. I ended up needing to shave away so much of her fur before it was all said and done. When the woman took her new friend outside, the dog was so excited she took off and circled their shed before running back to her. Like she wanted to make sure I was still there, the woman said. She even brought me sticks she found and wanted to take back inside. I got her to a vet yesterday afternoon. She has no chip. They said she's probably a husky-wolf mix. And that she's very young. Maybe even less than a year old. She's a snuggler, the woman said. Pretty much any time I sit down she wants to be in my lap. After some investigation, the woman discovered the dog had 3 previous owners. The woman was heartbroken to learn that last owner ditched her on the side of the road. The look on her face the first time I called her name. We named her Amaterasu, or Amy for short. She's already responding to Amy like she was born to it.